We are so ready. Back with Bank 60s. Hello. Yes, hi, it's Bank 60s back with you. A little 19th century combat with Norbsoft Deb, Scourge of War. Waterloo one more time. We love this game. We really do. It's exciting. You know, some of the things with the AI aren't great. We've learned that as we fought through the Battle of Ligny. But I've got some fun things in mind moving forward as we're kind of continuing to tell our own version of the story of this battle, following some of the historical, authenticity type of guidelines, with authenticity in mind is what I mean to say. And so here we go back into it. Hey, give the videos a like. Please hit subscribe and the bell notification. You can get updates on when videos post. I'll be doing more of these. And we're going to continue fighting this fight. I just got done breaking down the French Imperial Guard here at the end of the last video, and it got me really thinking about, kind of diving into, making the stuff with the AI, glitchiness a little less prescient in my mind as I move forward through this experience with you, by trying to kind of role play it as much as possible. Maybe that can kind of create some interesting challenges, because I think, quite honestly, that as I've got the game paused here and before I resume play, I've got some thoughts that I wanted to pass along about the way ahead before I launched into it. But as I was saying a moment ago, creating a little bit more of a, try to make it more of a role-playing experience as I was kind of describing for you what some of the history behind the Guard involved. And by the way, rough history. Hey, anybody who wants to pinprick, poke holes and correct and fill the record and correct the record on everything I was talking about with regard to the unit, with regard to the men in them, that is all very much desired by me. I think that that's part of what I really was fascinated to try and bring to this forum, was to appreciate some of the, in a small way, through a video game, go figure. While oftentimes people throughout our lives will pan, this period of warfare as being a little bit silly, but appreciating, the men who fought it to the degree that we can in the imagining of a video game. And so, to that end, I'll probably try to just kind of, role play a little bit. I'll also, because, the reason I mention this, if you haven't been watching some of the videos thus far, is that the AI does some silly things, and it seems to really have been, at least thus far, a little bit baffled and tricked by the way that I've moved my troops, the way that I've set myself up here with the artillery, the cavalry guarding it. The AI seems as though it's just falling back on this objective, just clumping all of its troops around there. And then, of course, they've got all this artillery out here. They've got all this artillery all by itself over here. So the way forward, I want to achieve a victory as Napoleon historically would have. There's no but. I'm going to say that, that the order came out, of course, Napoleon, seeing the success over here on the left, probably would have ordered Milhaud and Van Damme to probably, try and, in Napoleon's mind, I would suspect, let's say, that with the Prussians being over here guarding this objective, that we need We've got 4 hours now to try to take the Namur Road up here. And I think that kind of becomes our objective, kind of. You know, we could take Ligny and unlock Brie and see what happens. My guess is that you would unlock a bunch of these troops that would suck over here to this objective and, you know, allow me to surround them potentially. I don't know. And so I'm kind of tempted to just leave the Ligny objective there for me to take when I need it, maybe toward the end of the battle. We have the Wagnally waypoint objective. Now, here's something that I actually don't know about this game, is whether or not I'm losing 500 points for every 9 minutes that they... If I'm going to lose 500 points in 10 minutes because they hold this. I think that may be the case. At any rate, my decision really has been thinking forward about gaining points in a way that's a little bit unorthodox and may seem gamey, but that kind of, you know, militarily, it is totally viable, and it is what I've termed, as I go into it here, gun hunting, and with my cavalry, where I will essentially just take several squadrons of, you know, one of these brigades of cuirassiers back here, and these troopers have been very useful. Right here, we've had some moments where they needed to come up. By the way, I think these guys are getting shelled pretty badly. We'll need to address that. Those enemy, those AI artillery, they'll just kind of hone in on one guy. I bet that's these guns out here. Maybe even some of these. So my plan will be to bring out a couple more squadrons. You know, probably use this guy out here who's been out here camping out for a while, and probably come around up and through here and come at these guns right here. That's probably what I'm gonna do, and then, you know, capture as many of they'll start scattering and running off this way. Maybe running off this direction. Probably running off this direction more. And we may not get all of them, but I think it's 50 points per gun taken. And I mean, you can see right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, there's got to be 30 guns out here. 24 guns, maybe. And so you do the math, right? You're looking at 2,000 points or something like that. So it's almost like, you know, when the AI does this, and we'll see how they react. I mean, they may bring some infantry over to try and help out, and they may limit their losses fairly effectively here, and it may wake them up and make them, you know, do something by coming maybe this direction. I guess we'll see, but I'm hoping maybe it will do that. But what this artillery park basically turns into is a giant objective. It's the same thing because it's worth so many points, and it's also the same way right here with these batteries. So this is more like 12 guns. I will be doing the same sort of thing with a few squadrons of cavalry over here, gun hunting, and then combining that with a move. I had just finished discussing the Young Guard. What we're going to do is a bit of a swap. I'm going to bring the Young Guard, first and foremost, the Young Guard artillery is going to come up and take the position that really I should have had La Fole's division's artillery in the 3rd Corps assault at Saint-Amand at the beginning of the fight. This position here. Now, one thing I will have to do before I do this is probably to move these guys out. And I'm going to use the Young Guard. I'm going to bring them up, and I'm going to post them in Saint-Amand now to hold this part of the line. And then once the cavalry advance on this artillery has had its effect, the Young Guard can probably move forward safely to take up positions either along the river or to be arranged in such a way that they're ready to head out into this plain and up on this hill and start moving these troops off in toward Briey and the objective up there. And basically, you know, start to kind of clear a path in the center here for a, you know, kind of a coup de grace by the Imperial Guard, the Old Guard. Now, the coup de grace would have to be the Guard probably coming through here. Coming through here, and somehow in the next 4 hours, swinging all the way around. Maybe the Guard ends up going, and like maybe we let the Young Guard come through Saint-Amand. I'm not even looking at it. There we go. You let the Young Guard come through here. Kick this battalion out. Set up the Young Guard strong in Saint-Amand. And then the other thing, the other thing I was going to mention that I hadn't mentioned yet was the movement of La Fole's division. So La Fole's division, I haven't even mentioned this yet. Look at him, right? He's still, you know, in a pinch. If 3rd Corps is you know, 3rd Corps has been roughed up, and La Fole's division has had it bad. But he's still a combat unit right now. And so my thought was to go ahead and reform him along this road right here in time to eventually have him shift over to a defensive position in this hamlet, allowing for, I believe this is Gerard's division over here that is currently occupying the hamlet, to perhaps come out and push to soften up. And this is kind of what I was getting around to, by the way, to kind of the idea that an advance by the 3rd Corps, by more of the 3rd Corps, is something that is plausible, even though the 3rd Corps has been beaten up pretty bad over here. These guys are all under the command. And let me go to it. I'll select one of the units and get up to General de Division Comte Dominique Joseph René Vendôme. And this guy, and granted, I'm not sure about his relationship with Napoleon at the time of this battle. But I do know that Napoleon, friend or not, always had a great fondness for Vendôme because of his tenacity and his courage. Vendôme was a guy that was kind of like, almost like if you think of Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson a little bit, or maybe more like a Robert E. Lee and a John Bell Hood, I think. That's my interpretation anyway. Stonewall Jackson was kind of more Murat, maybe Lan for Napoleon. Van Damme, though, was a very, very deeply trusted marshal of Napoleon's, who was also, to my knowledge, very deeply loyal to Napoleon. And so there's every reason to believe that Napoleon could, in history, if I'm in Napoleon's shoes, and I am, ordered the 3rd Corps, Van Damme, I need you to try to take Wagnally somehow. There's a lot of Prussians over there. You got to go do it. When in Napoleon's mind, as I was kind of getting to, the idea really is to try to soften up the enemy for what will be most likely a coup de grace, with 6 Corps moving on, assuming positions on the left to finish the attack here. The Guard Cav launching with 6 Corps, with 1st Corps coming on. If all of 1st Corps comes on, I honestly will have to probably stop and really think again. I'll have to stop and think before that, but certainly if all of 1st Corps comes on, because then all of the Prussian 4th Corps comes on from, I think, over here somewhere, and then things maybe get interesting over here on the right, and who knows what. But the plan that I've come up with really is, as I've kind of been telling you, kind of fold LaFoll's division back around here to strengthen in a position of defense here, kind of around that little hamlet that I'm already holding, allowing for Girard to be able to get out and make trouble up here. That is what I will say that Van Damme has decided to be his course of action. To also just be prepared to use cavalry to assist in whatever it is that we're able to do over here. But after we fold over, we bring the Young Guard in to assume positions in Saint-Amand. We bring the Old Guard up to the Young Guard's position here. And here is the other move that I wasn't totally sure that I wanted to do, but I'm sure I want to do now. And that is to take Pajol's light and Lancer cavalry, Hussar cavalry over here on the far right flank, and shift them to this crossroad right here in an area with their artillery out in the front growling at these Prussians up on this hill here, maybe daring them to come out and face me, having the Guard here to chew up anybody that decides to come out in this direction. I mean, these guys have been sitting right where they are for a long time, and it seems to me as though maybe taking the Ligny objective gets them to move and counterattack. That's one thing I was thinking, and I think it's one thing I want to avoid, so I'm pretty content just leaving the Ligny objective the way it is. So, but again, plan being gun hunt, bringing up Young Guard, folding LaFolle over in preparation for probably an advance on, that I'll be accomplishing on the next video most likely. Yeah, that's probably what to expect. Bringing up Old Guard, moving Pajol's cavalry here, managing hot spots where they occur, and hopefully setting us up in a position where we might be able to actually secure, I don't know, if we take these guns like I'm thinking about doing and manage to get up here to the Namur Road objective, maybe we're able to take Wagnally, Namur Road. We may be able to secure a major victory in this one, maybe. But all of this over here, kind of with this advance, kind of to soften things up for when 6th Corps comes on, 6th Corps, and for when the Guard comes up. We'll bring the Guard, and we'll have them, like they did in history in Ligny, come up, and they're just probably going to mop up all in here, and they'll just push on Brie. Like, by the time we're ready to use the Guard, which will be most likely, it's what, 17:30 now, and we've got 4 more hours. We could do an hour and a half of shooting and charging and shooting and charging and shooting and charging, and with the young Guard. I mean, like I say, we're gun hunting and we're killing Prussians. That's what we're doing in this video. To sum it up, putting ourselves in a position while we're shooting and killing Prussians to shoot and kill more Prussians right here in the center. That's the idea in this video, while at the same time getting ourselves set up to do more shooting and killing of Prussians up here so that we can be ready. I don't know if we can do all this. Hopefully we can accomplish all this in about an hour and a half. I want the Guard to have 2 hours. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours for the Guard to just come up here and go to Brie and do what they do. Then by the time we're ready to send them forward, they'll have some help here from Pajol's light cavalry coming over, and they can cause trouble, and then they'll be in a position for when this, if and or when this cavalry reacts. If this cavalry reacts in this direction, I mean, it doesn't really do the Prussians at that point any good. And I don't know what the AI is going to do. The AI is being dumb over here. They may be smart, and at least be smart and come this direction. Because what I would be doing is, you would have Pajol here. He would kind of protect the right side of the Guard's advance, guarding against if this cavalry decided to make a counterattack down the hill here. That's what Pajol would be there for, and he would probably be, let's go look. Let's see what kind of, can we even see these cavalry? No, I guess yeah. No, we can't even see these guys over here. Never mind. Well, that was, so we don't know what kind of cavalry these guys are. I want to believe this is Exelmon here, which is a bunch of really good quality dragoons. It's about 3 brigades worth right here. That could fold over and help us out in this area. But these I was talking about are the ones that would fold in here and be in a position to guard the Guard as it advances this direction. These guys are really more, we'll go over to them. These are chasseurs et cheval. This is just, kind of run-of-the-mill. We got hussars who are good light cav. This is solid light cav right here. These are regulars too. These guys, and here, this unit here, these are veterans. Wow. Okay, so these guys are good. This is Pajol, and it's not really heavy cav. It's really good light cav. Here we go. Yeah, look at these 7 veterans, regulars, veteran. Wow. Regulars. Okay. So, you know, you're learning with me, by the way, here about, again, appreciating some of the guys who are doing the fighting for this stuff. So here we go with the Chasseurs à Cheval. This is basically skirmish infantry on horses. And on small horses at that. But these guys are regulars. You know, these guys can go charging into other light cavalry, and they might win. And then these are, this is where, against other cavalry, where we're not going to do so good. These Lancers, what they'll be good for is essentially helping the Guard in while it's advancing. The Guard will be chewing up guys with bullets, and the Lancers will be there to charge and cause trouble with, you know, infantry formations that aren't doing the responsible thing as the Guard is advancing and forming. You know, basically the Lancers are going to be for the Guard in this scenario, I think, what allows the Guard to really, I think, maybe advance quickly, because the Lancers will help get troops in square. The Guard will be there pushing forward, and I'm thinking about, again, an hour and a half, 2 hours ahead in the battle, because I think I've got this thing under control where I can win it. And I'm thinking ahead because I'm looking forward to this advance that we're going to see by the Guard. We're just, I think late in the battle we're going to be able to see the Guard just go to work. We're going to have these troops here in a position to support that advance toward the end of the battle. 6th Corps will be coming on. 1st Corps will have come on. We'll have a ring around Wagnally ready to make the final push to the Namur Road. And I think that's what I envision happening. And I think that's what we're going to be carrying out here today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to start by executing some of those gun hunting missions I was telling you about. So we've got this brigade of cavalry right here. We're going to start by detaching several of the squadrons. And you can hear my canister fire over kind of closer to the fort in St. Amand La Haye. That's taking its toll on those troops that are nearby, the Prussians in that division that's kind of stumped, or at least has been. There we are, right here. It's just kind of formed square, and they're not quite sure what to do. And guys, what are we doing? So, yeah. And then over here with our cuirassiers, we're going to be doing the same thing with these guys. Let's go ahead and detach. We already did that with him. There's his commander. And let's just get a few guys over here ready to go. Formed up. Yeah, we'll take you off that. We don't need to be on that anymore either. See, this stuff takes a little time. Sometimes, you know, you don't quite get it quite right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have those guys in position to go hunt. Those guys in position to go hunt. And then we're going to start moving up the young Guard. And we're going to do it one brigade at a time here. And I'm going to start with those troops with Chartrand's brigade. These guys who are actually, this is the tougher brigade of the two in the young Guard. And we're going to have them, we're just going to bring them up right here. Boom, boom. Let's make sure we've got them set to, we'll just put them in column by division right there. We'll have them take the road. This, and they'll come over and they'll get themselves set And so I don't want to leave with LaFoll's division just yet. I want to make sure I can get young guard guys into that church. That's going to be for those regular Voltigeurs as part of Chartrand's brigade. That's the 2nd Voltigeurs, the 1st Voltigeurs. I can't remember which. That's who that's going to be for, and just it's kind of a precaution. We'll send those troops forward into this bush right here, just to make sure we've got a defensive line. Our cavalry should be in place now. We're close to it. Gun hunting, and gun hunting. These guys cannot do. I can't believe they are not running away. It is just an absolute slaughter out here. I mean, if you could imagine being in this unit doing what it's doing right now, which is nothing in the face of meat grinding canister fire. The guys, these are some brave dudes right here. I gotta say that. Or they're just scared to disobey orders to stick around there. Okay, so one thing we need to do too, we don't want to forget about it. There's more 3rd Corps artillery over here to bring up. This was something that we definitely wanted to make sure that we were getting done here, because as these guys kind of come up and challenge us in this area here, we just want to make sure that, you know, they don't have the ability to easily come and wrap around the fort. It appears we don't have troops in there right now. We lose some guys. So it looks like that square might have actually ran some of our troops out of there. Huh. All right. So, okay. We're ready to go here. Some of these guns aren't backing up. Not yet, anyway. So we're going to come on up. Come on up. Here comes this cavalry out here. Get ready to do the same thing over here on the left. Over near Amand La Haye. Over here with the Young Guard in St. Amand. We're going to want to push out this battalion. Let's take a look at the map. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. Good shape everywhere. Cavalry coming across the river here. Cavalry over here. We'll have them come up this way, and they'll go ahead. We can get them into assault formation. Just have them ready to take on these guns. We'll get it just there we go. It's got to be fit in there just right. Where there we go. Yeah, that'll be good. Let's do it right there. Perfect. Some of the horses will end up in the water and getting shot at by canister. Oh, here we go with the melee. Some Prussian cav decided to interrupt our plans. Looks like they did so successfully. My troops are, well, looks like we may win the day. And our guys will be a little tired after this. And I don't know how good this Prussian cav is, but they sure seem pretty damn good. All right, all, you know, best laid plans of mice and men and all. Our cuirassiers have decided to engage in this little man fight here and allow themselves to get hammered by canister. They're doing a good job of winning it looks like, though. If we get them to surrender, I'll be happy with that. Okay, now here they go. So we're going to go ahead, I think, and put these guys on raid. I mean, since they're already at it, actually these guys need to back up. They're tired, they're blown. Here we go. Get those guys to form square. Keep charging. And now we'll take command. Oh, crap. Oh, that's not, I don't think that's one of my supply wagons. I think it's one of theirs. Keep charging. And what you're trying to do here is you're really trying to go get these guns. I mean, this is kind of like a raid, like I did in the Waterloo game. Same concept. We're going to do it over here. Hopefully without getting our guys real shot up. Now, somehow we added a couple of squadrons there, and that's not what I wanted to do, so we need to make these guys stop. There's another one that we're going to want to make stop too. That takes away some opportunity for us to get rid of these guns. So, all right, that's, I mean, I guess that's about as good as we're going to be able to do there. Not quite what I'd hoped, but that's okay. We'll reform back on our guns. We had some interruptions. But that's what happens in war. These guns will still be here for the young guard to deal with. And it looks like the young guard is up. So we'll go ahead and get going here with our regular, what is this, the Voltigeurs that I was talking about earlier. We're going to bring them up. And we'll have them in regular assault column here. We will begin evacuating LaFoll's division from the church. Here's part of Billard's brigade. Billard's kind of back this way. These guys will run there. Then the other unit of regular Voltigeurs, which I seem to not have brought with me. Oh, okay. I think I just had the arrangement of the brigades wrong. My bad. At any rate, here we go. We're going to put these guys, we'll run them into the church. Let's go ahead and have them form good old assault column as they're going. Did the other unit leave the church there? Alright, so the young guard's coming up. We need to be paying attention over here to where our cavalry was advancing against enemy guns. And appears to have taken it upon themselves to to run off those guys. I gotta tell you, you know, the AI goes off and does stuff all by itself sometimes. I mean, you know, it's a little aggravating, you know, but hey, they pushed them back. They pushed them back. They pushed them way back. And that's okay with me. Only problem is I just don't want them out there getting themselves killed. So let's bring everybody back. Come on. So let's reform. You did good there, man. Good job. Good job running off all of that artillery for us. That was very helpful. Oh, here they come. There's an opportunity for this squad to make themselves a little more useful. Goodness gracious, they keep running us out of this fort. We gotta retake our gun. They keep running us out of our fort here. Damn it. Okay, okay. So the Prussians are going to make this a little bit more interesting over here. We need to hop too and get these guys out of here now. We got a couple of guns that are, I think they're still here. Yeah, he's still here somehow. If I can back him up, I'm going to try. Nope, he just got captured. We're going to charge. No, we won't charge. We're engaged. Alright, so these guys will form up. And they're going to come forward. And we lost the damn fort. That is not good. It's going to cost us some guys. That's the unfortunate part about this. Is going to be something that prevents Third Corps from being quite as potent going forward over the longer term. This maybe slows us down here. But we forge on. We're going to go ahead and charge. Here we go, charging. Now we're looking everywhere else. Good, good, good. Here we go. Should send them packing. Good, good, good. How many guys we're killing now? Hopefully we're getting some kills on the retreat. There we go, fellas. Yeah, we're getting some. All right, we're sending them. We're sending them. Nice job. Nice job. Now we may be able to go ahead and retake this fort. By the Prussians here towards St. Amand. Interesting. Okay. And the Young Guard went ahead about its business, pushed out those dudes. And there we have it. We'll bring them back here, and we'll bring him here. And then, as we were talking about with Le Folle's division, we're just going to reform him to the rear, kind of along this road. Right about, I'd say, here. We'll take everybody off. I mean, road column. And here they come. And so we need to take command of some of these units over here. Chartrand's brigade, we have command of it. So we just need to make sure that we're keeping troops inside this church. This is the Imperial Guard. Okay, that's the, looks like the Young Guard ammo wagon. I want to come back over here, make sure that my cavalry didn't go off and get itself in trouble. Did they come back to me? Of course not. Of course not. They didn't want to come back to me. Got to try to get the hang on these guys. Here, we'll go ahead and send them on a little mission of raiding. I mean, this is kind of turned into a maybe kind of a tit for tat, back and forth kind of a fight here, battling over this fort back and forth with the Third Corps. It's good to have these guns up. Probably want to bring more cavalry into the fray over here. Yeah, I think that would be smart. Let's bring at least one squadron over and see how much damage they can do. Now, hopefully, this is one thing I'm worried about, is the Young Guard taking action on its own and being stupid. Let's go ahead and let that cab go. Guys already concerned over here. No doubt about it. So we need to meet that threat. And charge it. Maybe we'll beat him in square. Yes, we got him. We got him. Got him, and they're getting it from canister too. All right, they were coming forward there, thinking they were going to cause us trouble. Not so much. Not so much. All right, Gengulf's brigade over here has just been, I think, getting killed where it is. We could bring him back. You know, as the Young Guard's taking over for most of the rest of Third Corps. These troops can go back to wherever their parent unit is. These guys, this is the rest of this unit of the Young Guard. So these guys will probably, I think, I'll just have them stick around here. And then we'll bring the other brigade in and have them take up positions kind of more over here. We'll have them take a road. Boom, boom. Yeah, we'll have them be an assault column right there and just be kind of in a position and ready to respond over in this direction if we need it. All right, so we've retaken the fort. That's good. That's what we want. But the Prussians are getting dirty over here. Okay, we need to do something about this right here. Look at this. Got a charge. Prussian charge. They're coming at us. They want this fort. They're going to fight us on the outskirts of it. They sent us running too. Killed. Oh, got us to surrender. Bye-bye. That's all right. We're going to come in here and kill a bunch of them. That's what you get. That battalion is toast. We've got a few more. You know, we're losing guys here. We've got 354. I think what I really want to do here, just to save troops, is to literally split off half of this battalion, have it be ready to assume the line here, as these Prussians just continue coming up. We'll keep these skirmishers up here. Let's bring this cavalry in position. Well, actually, let's go ahead and run it up. Make it full square. And then we've got these guns going to work here. We've still got these 3rd Corps troops, part of DeFore's brigade. DeFore's brigade is part of the units that are over here fighting it out for this fort. I think, once again, I think I may just do a deal where I've split this unit in half. Do the same thing here with this unit. Just split it in half. That way, we'll just, you know, it's kind of a force multiplier. And having them in a position where they're ready to come and fight for this fort again if we need to. So, okay, we got those guys in the square. These guys can stay right here. Not a whole lot of action elsewhere. Not a whole lot of action really at all to speak of. Like I said, dealing with hotspots. Now I think is the moment where we can fold Le Foll over. Now, while the fight over that fort continues and will remain a point of interest and concern, we can take Le Foll and the rest of Abert's division, I think, confidently over here to this hamlet as we planned on doing. We can let them take the road. Like that. We'll do the same with these guys. What's left of Abert's division will be over here. Again, Gold and his brigade. Oh, I see. So it's not necessarily road column. Okay. Now, what else do we have here as far as our guns that are... Okay, this is some more of Berthazane, I believe, his division's artillery that we could bring up. I guess we'll keep them where they are. Let's go ahead and have these guys be back in line. We'll let them fend for themselves. Opportunities over here. Opportunities to make a breakthrough. Can't really tell yet. Can't really tell yet. But I think they're there. Here, I'll tell you what we will do is we'll bring this unit of the Young Guard right in here into that sweet spot for defense. Church right here, yeah, okay. And then Chartrand himself, I think I'll put him in the church. This other unit of guard troops, I think I'll just kind of tuck in right here. And then, I think what I'll do is I'll use him to spit out skirmishers to help guard the batteries that I am going to bring up now. All right, here is Duchesne, who is the Young Guard commander. Should bring him up to front. But let's grab his artillery commander. Where are you? we're going to bring up these guns in a position to hopefully start pounding this area here and get things softened up nicely for the old guard when it comes up. For Pajol's cavalry when it comes over, which we'll be doing next. That's the very next move that we're going to be making. And hopefully this all will be well timed. I'm really hoping that I haven't joshed up the intended timing for all of this. I need the guard, like I said. I really think I need that guard to have, the old guard to have about 2 hours, 2.5 hours where they're grinding away at whatever's in front of them, doing the job. Because I don't think I'll be able to secure a victory otherwise. Casualties. Like, the guard is kind of what helps you as the French player ensure that you got a good shot at a victory by way of casualties. Let's bring some guys out from this unit here. Skirmishers. We'll go ahead and take command of them again because they're in the church like we want them to be. The Tirailleurs. Alright, so we've got these guys. We'll just get them up here kind of by the river. That way we're guarding our guns as they come up. We use these guys for skirmishers instead of these guys. That's okay. No big, huge deal there. Now, hopefully we're not in a position where we're getting bombed over here. Wouldn't want that. Here's another. This is a battalion of Depreus Brigade, which is part of 3rd Corps, so we'll call this kind of like remnants of Le Foll and Aubert coming up this direction here. Vendôme trying to collect as many of his troops to obey the Emperor's orders to soften up the enemy near Wagnelli. There you have that. Boy, Saint Amand is a city of quite a lot of death and destruction, I must say. And I'm doing this a lot of splitting these battalions in half. It's something that I feel like I've learned I want to and like to do, especially when playing on the defense. Alright, so we've got these squares here, and I think I want to get ourselves some more of these guns. We really want to be able to blast these infantry squares out of here. We really want to be able to blast these guys with our guns. And hopefully just kind of get them to go away. And our cavalry right here doing the job of keeping guys busy. We're not threatened. Oh goodness, okay. Looks like we're going to want to face a threat over on this side. Get our skirmishers back in the act. I tell you what, actually, we'll rejoin whatever unit they're from. These guys will probably come up here and help out. We'll run them. Double quick, double quick. Looks like the main fight now is kind of more against this unit of Prussians right here. this cavalry can come up, and we'll kind of wind them in through here, formed in column. See if we can run off these Prussians before we go do what it is we have on the schedule to do next, which is we're going to move up we're going to shift the old guard forward and shift the Pajol's light cavalry on the right into the center. Here we go. There we go, guys. Nice. That's some good work. Nice job, guys. Nice job. That's what you want. That's what you want. Doing some good killing here. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. I think they've had enough. All right, so that gives us a moment to get to the guard. All right. We're going to start with, what do we have here? Petite Friant's Division. Friant's Division will come up first. We'll put him in that formation that is my favorite. We're just going to have him in a position here, kind of just a forward position with the Imperial Guard. And we're probably going to have to line up one behind the other right here. I think is what we're going to have to do. So let's get that to Moran. Good, good. All right. We'll put him, say, right. Maybe right. Okay, actually, let's remind ourselves where Friant's going. Real quick. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay. And at the exact wrong moment, I messed up the camera. Okay, here in that direction. All right, so that kind of there. So we're gonna want to, like, based on in between these two trees, kind of right about there for Moran's division. Right about, say, here. And favorite formation, boom, pow. And now what we're doing is bringing the guard up in a position where they can win the battle for us when we're ready to do that. And then we'll do what we were going to do with Pajol's cavalry here. So is this them? I think this is them. Again, light cavalry with lancers. And we'll bring them into, and really what I'm concerned about is kind of this crossroads area right here. Like I talked about before earlier in the video, that's a place where if I were a wily Prussian opponent at this stage in the battle, and I thought maybe my 4th Corps was coming, that I might actually launch an attack and try to come grab this crossroad. Call me stupid, but there's this river here that you could anchor some of your line on with this forest here too. Maybe if you're the Prussians, by the way, I'll pause it while I discuss this. You know, I'm the Prussians. I've got all of this reserve artillery right here. I'm seeing this, by the way. I can't see it on the map, but I can see it here. I can't see it in the, you know, the combat display, but I can see it here. By the way, here's 1st Corps. So I didn't get all First Corps, but I've got some of it. And they will be, along with Third Corps, doing the best it can over here when I'm folding the rest of LaFolle and Albert's troops over here. Girard's division coming forward with, I think the plan over here to take Wagnally is going to have to, it's going to be bloody, and it may not work. I may end up being repulsed. But I was discussing if I were the Prussians. Okay. If you're the Prussians here, what do? The first thing is you probably counterattack with something over here into Saint Amand La Haye right away is what I do. And then maybe, like I was talking about, lay a division at Ligny to try and challenge what I've got left over here. This division here. Begin moving elements of Third Corps over this way. Because as the Prussian player, you know that the French still have the Guard. So, and now at this stage, we've got First Corps on the field. Who knows what's going on over here at Quatre Bras? And moving in this direction is historically, so you can kind of role play it, and it's plausible in that way too. To start getting some of maybe this infantry, some of this cavalry, certainly this cavalry, moving it kind of over in this direction to protect Briey if that becomes an objective at some point. But to probably shift the focus of the fight to the center to try to put the French on the defensive somewhere. Here and here. So if I were the Prussian player, I would probably counterattack here, guard with my cavalry here with maybe one or two brigades against First Corps, and then launch a ferocious counterattack. Maybe, I think it's Tipple Scourge's infantry division over here, I think is still there, with cavalry support and as much artillery as I can muster. The Prussians don't have as much of it, I don't think, right now. And that's what I would do if I were the Prussians. Now, it would be like I've got all that artillery in there, and I've got that cavalry that's still in positions that they're in. It would that was, frankly, that's what I was expecting for the Prussians to do before the last episode when I saw them all starting to come in this direction. And I'm surprised that that's not what they at least tried to do before I had the chance to set up my line with all the artillery and the cavalry well placed and everything. But if I were the Prussian player, I might try. Because, again, if you're kind of role-playing this, the thing that you're kind of trying to do as a military commander, as the Prussians in this particular situation, is like each army on its own. The Prussians, even though they had something around the order of 100,000 or 120,000 men, quite frankly, I think Napoleon came to the campaign with a total of something like 130,000 troops in all of his corps and the Guard, and then combined, I think it was something closer to a little over 200,000 troops for the Allied armies combined. And so the idea as a member of the Allied side of this campaign is we want to maintain contact with the Dutch English forces by maintaining control of this road. That is what this whole battle is about. And particularly this road, or I can't remember which, like I told you, one of these two intersections right here, that's extremely important to essentially ensuring that the troops can not only come this way, but then also turn north to join Wellington. I think it's this intersection right here, to turn north to join Wellington wherever it is he decides to go. This road leads off in this direction. It's a small road. I don't think that's maybe that's it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. At any rate, if I'm the Prussians, I think I might try to get clever with this cavalry to advance out this direction. And so that's why I want to bring my cav over here in a position to guard against something like that. But I was just noticing how First Corps is now arrived. We can go take a look and see who's here. This is probably Jacquinot's cavalry here. Yep. Yep. And this is a lot of chasseurs à cheval. We've got some land. Kind of like a little bit. It's just one cavalry division, but it's a pretty big one at 1,696 troops. Well, I suppose that's about as big as the Guard Cav. So it's a average cavalry division. Okay, there you go. But it's hussars, chasseurs à cheval, same here. Now here we go. Yeah, lancers. Now chasseurs légers. I want to say that means these are a different kind of lancer, but I'm not totally sure. Not great against other cavalry, as I'd already kind of talked a little bit about. So yeah, half of this division is lancers. So they'll be really helpful in an infantry drive against Wagnally over in this direction with the help of this division, which is, I believe, yes, Duroux's division. That division that was on the far, far right in Waterloo attacking Papelotte, that is this division. 4,100 troops, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not a lot of punch, really, for what we probably need to dislodge this conglomeration of Prussians here. I'm going to have a little bit to think about when it comes to that. I've got my Guard Cav here, like I was talking about. You know, the initial plan, the idea was come out with Gerard's division, take on this unit here. Looks like about a brigade of Prussians. Have the Guard Dragoons come forward in support with artillery there as well. And essentially take this area and this bridge. Then from there, be ready to receive a cavalry counterattack. Have the Guard Cav in place in this area here, the Guard Dragoons, and then bring up the rest of the Guard Cav and have it ready here. Gerard's division pushes with the help of the Guard Cav in this direction. Then Duroux's First Corps division pushes across the river, probably to this field, and deploys in this area here with the help of the Lancers behind them and the rest of Jacquinot's division. I believe that's going to be Bruno's brigade, a lot of hussars out here on the left. And what'll end up happening most likely, we've got a ton, I believe, of Prussian cav here. I think there's a bunch more over here. I tell you what, it may not be the best idea to tempt a major reaction from all this cav over here with our cav, because they'll beat us. They'll beat us. They got more. Mine aren't that great. Well, let's go look at the quality of them. we looked at Pajol earlier and I was pleasantly surprised at the quality of those cav. But Chasseurs à Cheval are, you know, they're not great. And they're matched with Hussars, who are decent troops. That's most of what that Prussian cav is, I think, for the most part, anyway. What do we got? Okay, so yeah, seasoned. Veteran. Here we go. Veteran. Seasoned. Veteran Hussar. The Hussars, those are the good troops for Jacquinot. And they're veterans, and so they do, I think, hanging out here on the left and anchoring. I wonder if maybe I could tempt the Prussians. No. They wouldn't come across these bridges at me if I had infantry out here. They would just cause me trouble. So I'd have to cross with Bruno, have him out here, basically in a cavalry fight, hoping that I don't get my left folded up and have this attack essentially just fall flat on its feet for lack of cavalry on the flank, really. You know, and really in hopes that maybe, I guess, the guard cav, this cav here, could push forward. Guard cav along with that cav, and then try to bring Gerard over, try to coordinate an all-around push. Gerard, full guard cav division. This is the 3rd Corps cav across the river. Duroux's division in this direction with Jacquinot over here on the left, with under the understanding that we'll be sacrificing probably Bruno's brigade way out here on the left. Or maybe we could arrange this another way. Maybe we could arrange this so that part of Duroux's division's plan is to set up squares on the flanks and just advance in this direction. Set up squares on the flanks, advance in this direction, have artillery ready to guard against the cavalry on the flank, then have Bruno set up back here or maybe a little closer here so that if the Prussians want to try to flank me, they've got to cross the river, or they've got to come and deal with these squares in this artillery. And then at that point, I can harass them with Bruno's troops coming across the river and hitting them in the rear, doing some charging. And maybe that'll be better tactically and maybe help get me some more Prussian casualties rather than friendly casualties. That may be the plan of action that gets us. So what time is it in the battle? All right, so we're just past 6. All right. Another a little more than half hour of live action. Still working on our redistribution of troops here, like I was doing a minute ago. And just considering kind of the way that the troop movements will go for the midterm looking ahead. All right, so Pajol here is going to get his troops going. And we'll just bring the whole corps. And like I've done before, I will figure out the exact, precise troop deployments once we get everybody over here, right? So we'll have everybody like that. Let's do. We could do road column, really. So they kind of do a formation that kind of sets itself to the left. So let's do it this way. Have everybody take the road. Now, it seems as though. There we go. Okay, got him. All right, so Pajol's troops are going to come over here. They'll use the road, and what we'll be doing effectively is kind of folding our right flank into our center, trusting that Exelmans 3rd Corps or 4th Corps Cav, Exelmont, this brigade, the rest of 4th Corps can hold off anything the Prussian 3rd Corps and this Cav might come at me with, and just focus our efforts on what will end up being the Imperial Guard's push through and to the center. And then let's go see how things are working out with our artillery setting up in St. Amand. Young Guard artillery is all good. They got a lot to shoot at up here. Oh, looks like these troops are finally on the move. These Prussians up here, maybe a counterattack coming. And status quo pretty much still over here as the Prussians continue trying to find ways to dislodge me from this fort, which I don't think they're going to be able to do, really. I think one thing I may do here, so I've got remnants, more remnants. I may go on a little bit of a raid here with a couple of units from the Guard Cav and just have a little fun against the Prussian Cav right here. Well, or maybe just try to run off this infantry. So let's see what we can do here. Little mission. Little special mission with the Guard Cav, Guard Dragoons right here. While we get everything else set up, get the Guard on its way. Killing Prussians, right? How we doing overall? Decent. All right, we're at 3,600 points. We've lost quite a few troops. We have the 1st Corps on the field now, so that you can see that reflected in the troop count. I probably should be closer down to like 47,000, 46,000 troops. But I've got now 52,000 effectives on the field when you include those 1st Corps troops that came on. I will have even more when 6th Corps comes on. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying. I'm going to pause it again. Goes back to what I was saying related to when I was looking at the overall troop count. It was closer to like 48,000, 48,700. You know, and it was kind of a troop count that, you know, is a little bit discouraging, you might say. Well, maybe not so much. When 6th Corps gets here, we're going to be back to our original troop strength at the very beginning of the battle, that we were at the very beginning of the battle. And so that'll be more than enough to secure victory. How we do that is going to be the question now going forward. Now that the battle's developed the way that it has, I think, like I'd kind of originally designed, the cavalry being here, Guard pushing here, 6th Corps maybe mopping up behind it and wheeling toward Wagnally and the Namur Road, and finishing, like the 6th Corps being the last of the last mop-up duty guys. But right now, I like the way that the casualty figures are skewing heavily toward, well, not heavily, but significantly in our favor. And, you know, part of the reason why it's kind of, I think, stayed relatively stagnant for a little while is that these Prussians are over here pretty good. They're doing a decent job over here. And this fort isn't looking too hot. Or, I'm getting tired. Let's see here. We need to unlimber. So here's one thing we forgot about, and it's kind of a crying shame, but we're gonna get all these guns so that they're doing the damage that we wanted them to do. We kind of forgot about this while we were all excited about repositioning our troops. those guns shooting the way we want them to shoot. Managed to run off these Prussians, so that's good. And we're back over here to our guard cav. And then after we actually, this is one thing we need to do before we actually leave, is to take it off, take charge. No, and these guns are already running. So these guys may not stick around long, these guns, but oh well. They'll do some, I think they'll do some decent damage while they're up there. Or I just went up there and got a bunch of guys. I don't know. That might not be a good idea. At any rate, it was brave. So let's bring our guard cav forward. And let's see if these Prussians react like they should. It looks like they're not. So we'll make them no. So that's frustrating right there. The guys decided to charge into a square. I guess the fog of war was a little too much for them, even though they're... See? For some reason, the horses want to go charging at that square. Do not understand that. And for some reason, these Prussians aren't forming square. And so they're going to pay for it. And, you know, this was good. This helps us, you know, in our future plans to try to move Gerard's division forward like we were talking about. This is something that's going to help us. And these cav, look at these guard cav are really making mincemeat of these Prussian line troops. We're killing a lot of them. Although we've lost quite a few of these this guard squadron. Let's go ahead. I think he can be done. Call it a good raid. Call it a good raid. You know, and so it's kind of just a little tit for tat back and forth over here on the left. You know, nobody in a huge hurry to do anything major. We're getting ourselves set for an attack by the guard in the center that we hope can be decisive enough to, really do a lot of killing of Prussians. That's the goal. No. Come back. A lot of killing of Prussians and driving them off the big hill, bringing up artillery. Maybe not being able to destroy the Prussian army by nightfall, but being able to go a long way to achieving that goal. So wherever our skirmishers, here they are. Okay, let's have them. These skirmishers, I wonder how effective they are at guarding if I tell them to guard maybe a singular gun. By the way, this is a bit of an AI experiment. So you got the young guard here holding fast in Saint Amand, holding tough. Troops in the church, troops kind of tucked away over here. I don't think that they're losing strength to, yeah, no, I don't think we're losing strength to any artillery in that area. Like I say, Here we are, folding our right flank over. Examon remains, 4th Corps Cav remains, and we're just kind of working on the left. I think what we should do is literally just deploy with this division. We could put his guns probably right here at least, and be in a position to at least hold this river line. Do we have 2 batteries of artillery here? I wonder. Let's see. We could probably go right. And then this would, I think, maybe help in the plan I was talking about with the cavalry before. If I put some artillery over here, maybe it becomes kind of a juicy target. Yeah, I think I only have this 1 battery. Alright, so we have... Oh, no! Do I have 2? No, that's the ammo supply wagon. Okay. We'll move it out over here. Oh, no, that was a battalion. Oopsie. Okay, Duru's division. Let's go with this. Boom. Except we do want to stay on take charge with this artillery battery. Otherwise, Duru's division is going to get itself set, I think, kind of like right here-ish, here on the left. We've got our cavalry. We won't be linked in yet, but I think what we may try to do over here on the left, is, you know, make our mission, is to kind of advance down this river, get around here. See, I think we're attracting some attention from these Prussians over here. What happened here? Okay. Okay, what did you guys go do? I guess they went out, took some initiative, and now the Prussians are coming at me again. Okay, you guys really want to do that? Actually, we shouldn't use these guys. We should use these guys. Yeah, they're gonna come up and they're gonna get themselves shot up again. And that's not gonna be a good day. I mean, they're really at this point, they're just kind of helping me do what it is that I was wanting to do, which is to soften these guys up. You know, soften these troops up, kill Prussians. They're just helping me in my mission to kill more Prussians. That's the goal. That's what we're doing here. They are the enemy after all. So I think one thing that I will now do, since I kind of have the opportunity to do it, and it's a good opportunity, we have Gerard here. I think I want to go ahead and, without doing it with his artillery, which I will detach, but with the Villers and Piat, is to, boy, we just had a little bit of a blink there. Let's go ahead and save the battle real quick. Okay, so we've got Gerard right here. And we're just gonna, I think, just have him come out Where's the Prussian artillery? So Prussian artillery there. So we're just going to have him kind of come out, and we're going to form up out here. We'll go ahead and form up out here. We'll come out of the bushes, and we will let the tired troops take over the position in the bushes here. Which is Billard's brigade here. We could bring him in. He's still combat ready. We've got these troops here. Gengol. Bring him forward here. Sure. As a matter of fact, these guys. Alright. It's a little confusing. So who do we have here? Is this Corson's brigade? Yeah, Corson. He'll come right here. And he can get his guys set up kind of like in a little line there. Or actually, no, we'll get him in assault column. That's fine. Still hold the fort. That's good. That's what we want. Attracting Prussian attention over here. Let's look overall one more time. All right, so now, okay, let's pause it and just take a second to kind of notice and appreciate what's going on now. We have, as I'd kind of anticipated, really started to turn the tide against the Prussians as it relates to our kind of our battle of attrition. We are now gaining points fairly steadily at this point. We've lost quite a few troops. I mean, it's this has been a bloody afternoon. You know, we're only 4 hours into this fight, and we've lost over 14,000 men. I mean, that's over 3,000 casualties, nearly 3,500 casualties or so per hour. So, you know, Napoleon is a, you know, smart guy, not just a military strategist, but someone who understood economy, who understood economies of scale, who understood human capital, and just like any military commander does, understands that part of the job is to try to keep your guys, as many of your guys, alive. And it's part of the reason why I loathed using Gerard's division in the 3rd Corps, even though he's attached to the 4th Corps, or from 4th Corps attached to the 3rd Corps, but under Van Damme's command. I loathe using Gerard's division to move forward to get more of the 3rd Corps chewed up. You know, that's why I don't like it. But hey, like I said, Van Damme is a loyal guy. Napoleon knows that Van Damme will get the job done, that his troops, like the 3rd Corps troops, the guys who had been fighting under Van Damme for a long time, had been successful for a long time. And these guys are decent troops right here. Regulars. This is Leger. These are regular light infantry. Good. They can shoot. They're decent in terms of rate of fire. Is 28 seconds. And they're no slouches. They're regulars. These are decent troops right here. Piat's brigade. These are all This battalion of de Villers is really the only one that's not a regular battalion. And so these guys, they have some staying power on an advance or on a defense, and so they'll be charged with pushing forward. And what I may do, just like with that successful advance that happened over here with giving it AI control, and I'm reminding you of it often, I was as astounded about it perhaps as you were. I may just bring up Gerard, formed up like I am, and I may go ahead, take it off command, and just have him do it how he wants to do it. Push, literally just go, I'll probably go attack and see what he decides to do. Push forward into these guys, be ready to support him, myself, by controlling the guard cav and maybe the artillery and maybe some of this light cav over here. But just letting him go and seeing what he can take, pushing forward toward Wagnally. And then maybe do the same thing with Duroux's division over here on the left eventually. Again, kind of serving to, more than anything, just get into a firefight with these guys. Just get into a fight, soften these guys up. Because, again, coming up here before long, I want to have the guard coming through Saint Amand, essentially storming this hill with the help of the young guard. The young guard I'll probably have coming forward before the old guard and establishing the line, as I said, with skirmishers, establishing a good firing line on the left over here, aiming to kind of grab this crossroad right here, and then bring the old guard up through Wagnally. You know, time is of the essence, right? And you know, on a battle map, when you look at the guys like their pieces on a board, it might be tempting to just go ahead and take the guard from where they are and just kind of move them forward right through and along this line here, across the river, up through and up over the hill. Instead, I assert that it is more efficient to bring them on using the road network through Saint Amand, behind the young guard, which will be pushing essentially to take this road, pushing to the left and up into this area here, right here. Take this area right here. That's what we need. That gets the guard up here pretty quickly because they'll be using roads. I bet you they'll be able to get up here in about a half hour. And as a matter of fact, we may need to be starting to make this move now. Because we'll want, like I said, we'll want the guard. This may need to be our next move instead of really focusing too much on Gerard over there on the left. We need, I think maybe this with the help of this cavalry here and these guns, maybe scooch these guns up to the river edge here and advance with the young guard across the bridge for this crossroad right here, taking this road, holding it. And as we, you know, when we make the orders for the young guard to move up, we're making the orders for the old guard to move up at this, you know, at a similar juncture. And hopefully the Prussians don't have anything that could really interrupt our plans. They've got a brigade here that continues to advance against our fortress here. You know, it's 2 brigades, looks like, really. And this is a lot of remnants. I've run off these guys a time or two and they've come back. I don't think they'll advance in this direction over here. I think that my artillery will keep them away. I've got new artillery that's set up now. Although it might have run away by now. Now that's a 6-pound cannon there that's behind some skirmishers, so they're still sticking around. to help us blow away any squares that get too close. We still have Depre's troops in the fort. So again, the young guard coming out, grabbing this crossroad, allowing for the old guard, as it will be, I think, to probably begin deploying, using this, probably coming across, maybe even, well, no, I mean, they really are a meat grinder when they're just shooting. So, I mean, you could assault with them, but let's save that for the very end when we need to get moving. I feel like we'll kill more Prussians, and that's what we want to do anyway. If we just let them chitter-chatter fire away, and then literally, I mean, I was thinking about this earlier, bringing up an ammo wagon right behind them, and just like making it like just a mean mess of honeybees coming at these Prussians out of the old guard. So they'll come up this direction now that we're taking I mean, maybe even use this road too. That's a possibility. Come across this bridge, or maybe that's for the cab. The cab maybe comes this direction as we bring the guard up. Where is Pajol's cab right now? Right here. All right, so that's what's going to slow us down in this plan of action. I want Pajol's cavalry to be in place by the time we're making the push with the guard. So there's going to be some delicate timing to be done here. So this may work out the way that we thought, where we're still fudging around, softening things up over here on the left in preparation for the guard's advance in the center toward ultimately Wagnally or Brie, and hopefully victory. I think I've done enough for one video once again here. Plenty of chitter chatter, I understand, and analysis. I love talking you through some of my thoughts as I go through the fight. Marathon, not a sprint, as I'd mentioned before. Really having a lot of fun with it here, you guys, and turning this battle around. It wasn't looking so great initially, but this battle's so much fun. It's very fluid. Things change. As they are right now. We've got Gerard's division coming out here, getting ready to engage some skirmishers, some Prussian skirmishers right here. These troops are falling back. They see what's coming. As a matter of fact, I think I've already got Gerard off of take command. So, you know, we may already be in that position where we were talking about, where he's kind of just doing the job out here however he wants to do it, and we're helping him out the best that we can with what we've got. So let's look at the overall picture just one last time before we let it go here, and just where's our score at? Okay, nearly 4,300 points. We're on our way to a minor defeat thus far. I can say confidently we're on our way to a minor defeat. However, with 3 hours of battle time left, the guard yet to come forward, the guard fresh, the 6th Corps coming on, the 3rd Corps in relatively decent fighting shape on the left with a fresh 1st Corps, all pushing in the direction that I intended on pushing, which is on this side of the map toward this objective. I really believe, and with Pajol's division, or Pajol's Corps of Cavalry, set to take a position here in the center to be of support for the coup de grace, the final blow. I really think that our troops are in a better position than their troops, and that our great troops are going to, as was the case in history, decide the battle. By nightfall, we may not have this or this. I do believe we will have a draw or a victory at this stage. That's what I believe confidently. I think that our casualty count, other than Gerard over here, because he'll get in some action here, and some of his guys are going to get roughed up. Where else could we? That's the next thing, is to figure out where else can we do some killing of Prussians that would be obviously. I mean, we could take the 4th Corps Cav and advance over here. This would be an area of interest. It's a crossroad. There are some enemy troops over here, but not many. And you know, we would get ourselves that much closer to this waypoint objective. And frankly, I don't know what comes after this waypoint objective. If you take it, I've never taken it. I've never tried. Yeah, Exelmont could make an advance here. Maybe take this area and secure our right flank, maybe allowing us to take... Or no, I'm sorry, this is 4th Corps Cav. Exelmont's Cav here. So 4th Corps Cav moving this direction, securing our right flank at this position, allowing for Exelmont's Cav to fold over in some degree to help over here, you know. Maybe Exelmont at the very, very end of the day, after the old guard has spent its ammunition and its effort, and, you know, enough of them have gotten shot. Because, by the way, the reason why you hold the Imperial Guard, if you're Napoleon, and it's a very compelling reason, is that, as was history, you know, in history with, like, the Romans, these are the guys who will protect you personally to the death, and they're the best troops in the entire army. So, of course, you're going to save them for last, because in a battle, it always comes down to the last. If it were to come down to the bloody bitter end like it did at Waterloo, you would want the guard there if you're Napoleon. And that's why he would always hold them like he did, because they protected him. He was a narcissist, after all. I think we've covered that. You know, a little like Saddam Hussein in that way, but it's smart. You know, you're in a controversial figure, an emperor like he was. You get the biggest, baddest MFers and to come and be in a unit that's going to be your personal protection. And that's what the Guard is. And, oh, also, yeah, they could grind through enemy units like, you know, a wood chipper. And that's what we'll be doing with the Guard here coming up pretty darn soon. Love seeing them arrayed out here, formed up, ready to make this advance. And then really, I think the other thing we're going to have to figure out how to do kind of specifically is how to incorporate the Guard artillery and where to deploy them. This field over here is really attractive. Not these woods. That makes no sense. We've got, you know, Pajol's cavalry's coming over here. What we may do is bring the Guard's artillery, detach it, have it set up in this field here where it's protected by some of Pajol's cavalry, the rest of the Pajol's cavalry coming forward with the Guard to try to advance up the hill and into the Prussian rear. So I think that's kind of the plan of action going forward now. So much that I love about what's going on in this game. This is really a fun experience. I hope you're having a good time watching it. Hit that like button. Do subscribe, please. Bank 60s right here. You can remember me. I don't like to self-promote too awful much here, but again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification. We're going to save it up. We're going to come back. Battle of Ligny continues in the next installment as we, you know, approach what will become, I do believe, not a major victory. I don't think we've got enough to get to a major victory. I don't think we do. But perhaps a minor victory and a lot of fun. We'll see you guys on the next one.